Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, still not dead from COVID. It's literally been like 4 days and I feel fine, so still coughing up some stuff that tastes and smells interesting, but other than that, glad I'm over it, glad I'm immune. Let's get back to some Magic content. So this video is an absolute wild story. Okay, somebody sent me this, and it's somebody who's been, buying and selling collections like you wouldn't believe, like even probably at a higher volume than I do on Facebook and Craigslist and all that. I mean, I mostly just do eBay. But, I got some watches out there. If I see something on Facebook, I'll look into it. So somebody sent me the chat transcript screenshots and like the original post and all that stuff. And I think you're going to be surprised where this one goes because it started with something even I've seen, which is I'm looking for any Magic the Gathering cards at all. Don't care about condition too much. Doesn't matter, old, new, whatever, just looking at purchasing a large collection, basically bulk, and it's going to be a gift for this person because they said they have a young relative friend, whatever it was. I don't know, it could be like their kid's friend or something, and they're just getting into Magic, but like, I mean, come on, $4 a pack? So somebody must have mentioned to them that, you could buy like 10,000 cards bulk for like under $100, or you could get like one booster box. And then you have to care about, oh, is this one a $30 card? Oh, I got to sell it online. It's like, no, just give me some bulk. Let me just play Magic, build whatever. Heck, I've sold to about 5 people like that. I mean, one person just walked into my shop one time and they were like, oh, we're doing like an after school program. Oh, you got like Magic cards over there. Are they for sale? Because remember, my shop primarily did something else, but yeah, we had Magic cards on the shelf. And they were like, oh yeah, we do this thing to keep kids out of drugs and it's a nonprofit. I'm like, hold that thought, boom, here, how much could you carry? How much could you fit in your car? I could not find anybody to buy my bulk. Like literally, it was, the cards were worth almost the same price as the boxes that hold them. The standard price for 1,000 bulk commons and uncommons is about $7 or $8. And depending upon how clever you are, and if you use like flat rate and really pack it or how much you want to sell, it's almost that much to ship it even like one state over. I mean, 5,000 cards is like 30 pounds or something. It's ridiculous. So I couldn't get rid of it. And somebody was just like, oh, we just like dicking around and building whatever. I'm like, here, I just have some bulk. Here, this is one set. This is another set. Build whatever. It's got some synergy. Yeehaw. So everything seems normal. A lot of you are probably nodding along like, oh yeah, I've seen that. I've heard of that. Or my friend did that. Or I did that. Or I've come across this. Well, remember I said this one was a scam. Now keep in mind, this is what's so egregious. They said, old or new makes no difference. Just want to buy a larger collection for a young relative or whatever it was. They're just getting into Magic. Please message me. So this person that sent me all this info on Discord, the first thing they said as the initial inquiry was, I've got about 50,000 bulk, mostly from the same set, kind of divided, commons and uncommons. They're all in storage boxes. I don't suppose you're interested. Oh, they also threw in, I've got a couple pre-made sealed decks, but without the front card. Don't we all? My God, I think I got 100 of them. Anybody want them? Some of them I even stripped for like $1 uncommon, so they're not even complete. Very first reply from this absolute douchebag was, the commander decks or no? Like referring to the pre-made decks. And then, so no rares or anything, question mark. How is the first question about rares when they don't care how old they are and they're going to hand them, quote, as a gift to a younger family member who just got into the game? So the guy from my Discord server says, well, I do have a couple hundred bulk rares too, but obviously they're way more expensive a piece, like at least 10 cents a piece is the going rate. Kind of holding them in case they go up. The assembled decks are not commander decks, but I do have thousands and thousands of, basically pre-sorted by rarity, and they're all from like the last 7 years. And then for some reason, the person who made the listing replies, so are you an active player or is this just old stuff you have? I, once again, don't see why that's relevant, but remember, I already told you the ending of this story. I think you might be getting an inclination of where this is going. So I don't know, I guess that they were just wondering why this person was asking so much darn information, so they just like gave them their whole back history of playing. They're like, well, I usually hang at my friend's shop and occasionally like I'll like volunteer there, just, hang out, whatever, and help them open packs, for the store. And then usually they'll give me a little bit of bulk so I can just build whatever. So most of what I have is bulk commons and uncommons. I usually buy a couple booster boxes every time a new set comes out, and I have been playing for several years. So I keep the rares separate. Occasionally I go through them for a buy list, online to sell them to an online vendor, because a lot of them, they go up in price, and the really expensive ones I sell immediately. I mean, you guys, you get it. They're trying to explain like, okay, here's what I got, for some reason they're that interested. Although I think at this point, I suspect my friend was catching on. So here's the key right here. So they like reiterated, but do you want the bulk commons and uncommons? I could throw in some matching rares from the set that are just bulk rares. I guess they're just like, I mean, maybe this lady knows enough that it's like, or her, younger whatever. I think we've all determined at this point, little Jimmy probably doesn't exist. But this fantasy person maybe told her, well, the best ones to build with are the rares. So maybe she like knows just enough from what he told her to know not to buy a collection with 0 rares in it because you'll never build anything good. We're still within reason. I guess still after what she said next, which is, yeah, I'm more so interested in stuff that's worth play use. Still kind of sounds like the person doesn't really know Magic terminology or whatever, but oh, I assure you, this is gonna go off the deep end real quick. So the person's still like, I need to get rid of this bulk. Oh my God, like I'm so sick of dropping like $5 on these 5,000 count boxes. Gotta get this crap out of my closet for God's sake. So they're like, okay, technically Artisan is the new format. I cannot believe they said this. This is so hilarious. Technically, Artisan is the new format where you can only build a deck with commons and uncommons, and it's usually set restricted, so it's pretty fair and fun, especially to new players, and it actually excludes rares. It's great because you don't have to care about the card condition or use sleeves. It's great for beginners. My God, he's more of a salesman than I am. Holy crap. Okay, so this next reply in the screenshot must have been MS Paint, no offense. They put a big red arrow and then wrote asshole. The person wrote, can I see some of the bulk rares just fanned out so I can kind of see what sort of rares you have? Oh, now you know about rarity and card quality and prices. Now you care when you're just going to take it and give it to your friend for free as a gift. But you only want a picture of the bulk rares. And then immediately, are you looking to sell in a whole lot together? I assume this person has the same mentality as me, where they would never just blindly sell bulk rares, no matter how many times they've looked through it for, buy list stuff, because there's so many fluctuations lately in like Modern and Commander and all that, because of the new concepts and revisiting stuff. And like right now, a bunch of old zombie cards went up, because zombies. It would be insane when you could look through it and a 10-cent rare could be a $5 rare now. If you're selling them bulk, even, God, what would be high? Like 25 cents a rare? Blind? I mean, one bulk price on those is usually 7 to 10 cents. If you miss like a play set, there goes $20, Not to mention any rares that suddenly hit like $10 or something. I mean, you never know. You never know. So just saying, oh yeah, this is a box of, 1,000 rares. It's like 5 years worth, from different sets. Oh, I'll just blindly sell it to you without looking through it. Which, okay, I mean, yeah, he probably could have looked through it, found a couple, sent them into, wherever, and then sold the rest, but this person wants a picture right now. So like, well, I didn't know I was sending in a buy list this week. I got better shit to do. Like I got, well, I happen to know they have a family and a 40-hour-a-week job. I think they just had a kid, so it's like, yeah, okay, you want to buy some bulk or you don't? Like, I didn't know this all of a sudden turned into me filtering my cards and then sending in a buy list and then sending you a photo. And right now, at this point, I guess the big arrow that says asshole means that they were catching on to the fact that this person's just a lying piece of crap. So I should have asked. The person's actually not on Discord right now as I'm recording this, but they said something about like, oh, I might be able to get you some picks tomorrow. Maybe they were gonna like mix in some uncommons and hope they didn't know or something, or just some rares that they know there are replacements for and just pull like a screen full of those for a quick cell phone shot. I don't know what the intent was there. Maybe they just wanted them to piss off. So they reiterate, they have like 200 pounds of commons and uncommons all sorted, all in boxes. And then the rares are like gonna take longer to all pull out and put together and take a cell phone shot. And they go, oh, okay, cool, thank you. How much just shot in the dark do you think you'd want for all of them? And so he asks, all the rares or all the commons and uncommons? And they just put rares. So I could tell, they're full investigation detective mode here, because they're like, you can't build a deck with all rares, right? You need the supporting and staple cards from common and uncommon, so you really should get both. And they literally replied, I'm only really looking for rares right now. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were looking for exactly what you said in your fake listing. Deck building, who cares, bulk supplies for your pretend nephew or whatever. Little Jimmy. Oh, little Jimmy's such a spike that he refuses to lower himself to running any card below rare? Really? Oh, I didn't know little Jimmy had access to my arena account. Every time I send somebody a deck list, they're like, there's 47 rares in this. And I'm like, well, and some mythics. It just works out that way. I don't know. I didn't used to be that way. I have a theory that Wizards is shifting some of the better cards into rare. And they're shifting a lot less cards that are really good into the uncommon slot. Could be sell more packs. Could just be for draft. I don't know. I'd go either way on that. So anyway, they didn't get a reply. So I guess she was waiting for an answer on that. So they're like, I don't know. I think $7 per thousand is the normal price for bulk, common, and uncommon. That's normal wholesale bulk. And then they say the rares, I'd have to check if there's any insane price ones in there that I could sell elsewhere, which might take a while, but I could do 15 cents a piece, which let me tell you, 15 cents a piece is pretty good. Especially like post-scan, but they knew that nobody would pay 15 cents a piece for searched collections if they knew what they were talking about, which is obviously what he suspected at this point. And so she writes back, yes, but I'm interested in getting them more play-usable stuff too, not just the commons and uncommons, how much you want for the rares. And he writes, I just put 15 cents a piece for the rares and then $7 per thousand for the common and uncommon. And then I assumed to be like if you know that I know that you know that I know, they wrote, I'm not even kidding, I'm reading this verbatim, they're formerly picked over for buy lists repeatedly years, like over the years in the past. Boy, this person needs to fix their grammar. No offense, I'm sure they're watching. So there's not much value necessarily still in them, but a lot of good power cards for decks. So if this person's like, ooh, I'm going to buy 1,000 rares and I'm going to get rich, haha, pretending that I have a nephew that plays the game. Ooh, I'm the craftiest scammer on Facebook. And they're just like, yeah, I can't really ship them though because they'd weigh this much. And like, okay, where are you located? And they're like, same city as you. Then it turns out they lied about that and they said, would you be willing to drive to blah? And I asked the person how far away, like vaguely, that is from where they live because I don't actually know. Get this, not even joking, they said 40 minutes away, and then they said where the person initially said, like in the group they posted, and where they put the listing for, like the listing on the marketplace was like 5 minutes away. So now all of a sudden they lied about where they live too. And then, so he actually puts, I thought you lived in blah, blah, blah. And they just put no, comma, and then the name of the place that's 40 minutes away, period. No explanation. I guess if you aren't catching on to what they're doing here, they're going to various buy-sell groups and just marketplace listings, maybe even using multiple accounts, I don't know, and just putting, I'm looking for blah, blah, blah in this area. I'm looking for magic cards in this area. I'm looking for magic cards in this area. You know, just to throw the most number of nets out there. And then they don't actually live there and they want you to drive, you know, an hour away or whatever. What an unbelievable asshole. So they went on kind of negotiating, like, when are you free? And, you know, if I send a picture, what's your schedule look like? And, you know, whatever. So they say, can we meet, you know, midway? Oh, how generous. Somewhere I could kind of scan through them real quick. So I asked why they were even entertaining this person anymore when it was so likely to be a scam. And they're like, where else am I going to sell my bulk? I mean, who knows? Let me just scan through, because I actually asked him this specifically. Oh, okay. He says that his theory was that this is just a giant misunderstanding, and this person got their younger family member into the game, knows quite a bit about the game or played on and off, and thought, well, if I'm going to pick up a big lot, I might as well see if I can make some money on it as well. You know, just real quick pick through it for expensive cards and make sure I'm not handing them a $10 card, you know, because then I'd keep that and sell it and buy them more product, or, you know, who knows? Who knows? So, like, okay, reading back through the chat log, okay, I guess. So he asked them point blank, why would you want to scan through them if you just want, you know, bulk whatever for your friend to build decks? And they said, oh, because I don't need more than 4 of each. Which kind of implies, you know, it's not just some, like, random mom or friend or aunt or uncle, you know, whoever it is. Like, they actually know how the game works, that you can't use more than 4. You know, so maybe they just didn't want 100 of the same rare if they're going to pay 15 cents a piece. And I don't know. Still sounds like a scam to me. Spoiler alert, it is. So fast forward basically the next day, they said, oh yeah, you want to meet up? I could run over with it, but I got to know which to bring because like it's like 500 pounds of cards or whatever. And they said, oh, just bring the rares. And he says, how is your friend or relative or whatever going to build a deck with only rares? Literally, the person doesn't respond. So they were like, hey, let's meet up in like an hour or two. By the way, why am I only bringing rares? Nothing. Dead ass nothing. Will not respond. And then I'm not really seeing timestamps, but like he asked like a couple more times, you still there? Still interested? Still interested? Question mark. Did something come up? Can we meet tomorrow? Nothing. No reply. So they knew they were found out. So I did a little investigating, some clever Googling, some clever Facebook searching. Yeah, this person, it's exactly what I thought. Same story, they post all over the place. If you like enlarge it to like a 4-state area, basically, because they live in an area, it's like not Texas, you know, where you could drive for 500 miles and still be in Texas. So I looked all over the area where they live, you know, Northeast, I'll just tell you that. And yeah, this person had a real similar story, but changed just a little bit, so that it doesn't, you know, set off the Facebook filters. Where they said, oh yeah, it's for my, you know, for my daughter, for my family member, you know, it was changed a little bit, but it was the same person. And then I even checked their profile. It was mostly private, but there were a couple public things. And there was like pictures of them themselves playing Magic the Gathering at a store. So you start out saying, oh, it's just anything I'm looking for, any Magic the Gathering cards, and as soon as somebody says, I have some, they're like, oh, how about them rares? Send me a picture of the rares. Can I search through the rares? What about little Jimmy's deck building experience? I thought he just got into the game. No, give me the rares. I'm all about the rares. He only cares about the rares. Always one of those rarity sticklers. Yep. Oh, but it's because he doesn't want repeats. I'm not asking for photos, and you already told me it's from various sets, and you already told me they're already picked over. No, I want to search through them because I care that much about his deck building. Oh, come on, lady. You gotta be kidding me. So yeah, I'm not buying it for 2 seconds. And this person's postings, they went back to like the furthest the history goes. I don't remember if it was like 3 months or a year or 2 years or whatever, but like, yeah, this person had been running this scam for quite a while. So watch out for this. I mean, I can't imagine anybody would fall for this, like as far as like you guys out there, like intelligent, you know, Magic players who really know prices and like sales and that kind of stuff, and, you know, card values, where to look them up, where to sell, where to buy. But see, that's not who this person's targeting. If you think about it really hard, it'll just be, oh yeah, my kid had some, they're not interested anymore, and, you know, they're at my ex-husband's house right now. Oh yeah, sure, I'll sell them. You know, spring cleaning, let's go. Or, oh yeah, they went to college, but like, you know, they in high school, they used to play and they left their cards here, and yeah, okay, I'll sell them. I was like, can I get a picture? Sure, I don't know what I'm looking at. Okay, what, you want to meet up at $30? I don't know, whatever. I'm sure my son or daughter wouldn't have left any, you know, valuable cards in there. I'm sure it's all just bulk. I don't know. They sold and bought all the time. None of the, I mean, they're in a binder and they're in like sets of 4. Some of them are in sleeves, but like, most of them are like, they got that shiny coating on them, but I don't think it's anything good. Yeah, $50 for the whole thing, the whole lot. Oh, your little Jimmy will love it. That's who they're looking for. They're looking for dumb sellers with Magic the Gathering cards. Which, how could this have possibly worked? What kind of random mom just goes onto there and then is either just randomly shown this, which it's usually interest-based stuff. It's stuff you look for. I look for firewood once, and every time I log into Facebook, like, y'all want to buy some firewood? Here's another listing. I'm just like, all right, bought some. God, leave me alone. And well, what random person is like, oh, I'm spring cleaning. Oh, let me see if anybody's buying Magic the Gathering cards. I mean, it's so far-fetched. You're only going to get people who know what they're talking about finding this listing. In fact, you're probably going to get pretty like semi-professional sellers. So I don't know what about this was supposed to work. Maybe it worked once, or they heard about it as like some scam on some forum or something, or some subreddit. I'm old. We used forums when I was younger. Oh, get out that PHP BB script. Get out the BBS bulletin board services. Ooh, I'm gonna set up my profile and put a custom avatar. But yeah, then they thought, oh, I could scam the whole tri-state area. Ooh, let me make a bunch of fake listings and crap and make up a nephew that doesn't exist. Unbelievable. So yeah, the success rate of this isn't real high, but if I saw this, I probably would have got about as far as my friend did. With like, oh, these are some weird questions, but maybe, you know, you write it off in your mind. You're not like, oh, everybody's a scammer. Like, you don't read something like this that you've seen a million times, where it's like, oh, I'm just looking for my nonprofit group, for this group, for that volunteer thing, for this kids program, for the Boys and Girls Club. Oh, at the YMCA, we got some players that play and we just want some bulk boxes. We hear about it all the time. It's a wonderful way to get rid of bulk. So yeah, everybody sees this and they want to believe it until there's enough red flags where we're like, why the hell does this person only want rares? They want photos and they want to search through them. No, I'm out. And then when you kind of call them out on it, like, why would you possibly not want the commons and uncommons? You literally need them to build decks and the person just stops responding. You go from like, can you meet me at the Wendy's in an hour? They're like, maybe. And then you start negotiating what to bring, to like, oh, they fell off the face of the face of the earth. Yeah, that's a scammer, okay? You called them out and they went into hiding. So this isn't like, ooh, scam pandemic, everybody's getting burned by this. It's just like, oh, don't waste your time on this and ask the right questions, I guess. And I just thought it was an interesting case study. This is, I don't know, is it just me because I sell cards, or do you guys find this totally wild? I mean, let me know down in the comment section, especially if you have a similar story or like an even more devious scam for like card selling online. So if you want a little extra entertainment, go scroll down to the comment section, see what other people put by about, I don't know, usually 48 hours later, we got some good stories. And like I said, if you got one yourself, leave it down there. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you guys next scam.